Welcome. This is your reading for the next week to 2 weeks. It is a forecast, so I'm looking into the energy coming your way, the potential pathways, but know and trust that if anything either doesn't resonate with you, it may not be for you. But also, if you see something in the cards and you're like, I want to navigate through that, around that, or actually interact with that energy differently, know and trust that you are super powerful and you can totally do that. If you want more help with the navigating, if you want more details on how it's going to impact you personally in your life, in your circumstances, in your timeline, you can always book a reading with me. Order a 30-day forecast, which is attuned to your energies and your potential pathways specifically. Or come and join us in Tarot Tea and Transformation, which is my private Facebook community where I can help you a lot more closely in that community. All right, so today we're going to start with the Heal Yourself Oracle. I felt called to really split today's reading into two parts. One is healing and one is hoping. Now, the reason I feel called to that, I think, is because often we need to release before we can receive. And if we're not receiving, there's something to release. And if we're in the releasing, we're going to be receiving. So healing and hoping kind of went hand in hand in my mind today. All right, we're going to take 3 cards from the Heal Yourself deck. And we're just diving straight into it today. Make sure to be commenting, sharing, and letting me know what's resonating and landing. And of course, if you have any ahas or actions from this, let me know that as well. We have self-sabotage. We have self-love. And we have pay attention to the signs. All right, let's have a little closer look. I find it interesting immediately that self-sabotage and pay attention to the signs, they both have in the top left corner a little white owl. This might be, resonant to you because you love Harry Potter and Hedwig comes to mind immediately. Maybe you have seen owls or you have owl figurines around your house. There might be some significance to the owl as a symbol, as a figure, as something that really resonates with you. That will help you know if this is for you. I also invite you to look into the symbolism of the owl, sort of that wise, knowledgeable spirit guide, but also sometimes it can be an indicator that we're not getting perspective, we're not looking at the situation clearly, which can, make sense with both of these cards, especially with the self-sabotage. Sometimes we're so close to something, we don't actually see the greater significance of it, or even the greater insignificance of what is happening. We can be putting too much weight on an action or an outcome or how we're currently feeling or experiencing something and not really seeing, in a year's time, will this matter? In 10 days' time, will I be able to have moved on from this, through this, grown from this, learnt from this? Sometimes we don't give ourselves the gift of perspective. So this is an area for you to heal your wounds and also your habits of self-sabotage. And a big piece I want to say here, and I shared something very similar with a client this week in a one-to-one coaching session, is that it's okay to see your self-sabotage and then go, okay, oh well, and move on. Sometimes the biggest pain is that we attach to it and we think we have to keep it around. You can acknowledge it. You can embrace it and go, yeah, I did that and own it. And then also go, and it has to mean absolutely nothing about me right now and what I do next. So potentially self-sabotage is one of these things you need to get perspective on, see how insignificant it really is, click it off, and then move forward. Paying attention to the signs in the area of, something to heal. Look for signs that you are healing. Look for signs that you have grown. Look for signs that things are working out. This is your opportunity to acknowledge your healing journey and not simply be focusing on the pain of why you need to heal. This brings us into self-love. I think many of you are holding back from loving yourselves until you've proven something or done something or achieved something. And self-love is a gift that you get to give to yourself at all times, in all circumstances and scenarios. You are never unworthy of self-love. but sometimes we can withhold it. So that is another relationship that you can be healing in the next week to 2 weeks when you find this reading. Let's just have a little closer look. Any other messages specifically around healing? We've got the Justice card. Making sure you're treating yourself fair and balanced. And if something is out of alignment, if something is maybe weighted too far in one direction, make sure to bring it back into alignment. You've got the Seven of Wands, defensiveness. You might find that there are people in your life where you are feeling very defensive. You feel like you need to not just put up boundaries, but really aggressively enforce them. This is something, first of all, to look at more closely is like, is this the most aligned way for me to deal with this situation and circumstance? Do I want to be operating from a defensive energy? And there is a difference between having boundaries and being defensive. One is coming from, a place of power and a place of peace, like this is my boundary. And the other one is coming from this place of feeling less than, feeling victim, feeling unable to perhaps just own what it is your boundary may be. Then we have the Nine of Pentacles. This might also be in the areas of finances, business, career. So apply the self-sabotage and the self-love and the looking for the signs messages to these areas, defensiveness, business, finances, and also where things might not feel equal or balanced in your life. Now let's have a look at, through the Work Your Light Oracle, the hopes. What are we hoping for? What are we looking towards? What are the rays of light in the cloudy sky this week? All right, on the bottom of the deck, we had Council of Light, Divine Orchestration, Helpers in the Subtle Realm. A beautiful time this week to get in communion and connection with any guides, ancestors, spirits that you like to work with, angels, or even your higher self. We all have different ways of communicating with things outside of ourselves. Choose yours, lean into it. That in and of itself might open you up to feeling more hopeful. All right, we have deep replenishment, rest, retreat, be held. If you can, taking time out this week, disconnecting from the noise, allowing yourself to really tune in to what is true for you. If you can, also having some alone time, quiet time. Now, that doesn't necessarily need to mean without other people, but in a place and in an energy where you are actually feeling replenished and allowing yourself to give yourself what you need. Sometimes that means with other people, and sometimes for some of us, it means without other people. Do what works for you. What is going to replenish you? Not just lay down and nap or sleep. Sleep isn't always rest. Rest is what refills your cup, allows you to decompress, de-stress, and really re-energize. We've got Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? I fully believe that we are here to live the life that makes us the happiest. And I would highly encourage everyone to be, choosing what makes you happy from a place of genuine, authentic truth. Like it doesn't have to be saving the world. It doesn't need to be healing the planet. Start with ourselves first. But I really feel in this card, the Priestess, how you being called to step up and lead, is like maybe this week you do need to stretch out into how is my work, my power, my energy, my gifts, my talents, my best self going to help others. Especially if you have a bit of a tumultuous relationship with your self-love or self-sabotage or just yourself in general. And it's not quite in this moment enough motivator to do it for yourself. Look outwards. How are you being called to step up and lead? Who else will this serve? How can this bring you hope? Finally, we have break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. There is hope for whatever has happened in your life, in your family, in your history, in your lineage, in your culture, in your society, to end. Any generational, stories are yours to close the book on, to rewrite a new one. And I heard something the other day was so beautiful and I can't remember it exactly. I don't have the quite the right language around how she said it, but it was something around rather than focusing on breaking generational curses, that's not something she believed, and it's not something she, focused on. But she was more interested in planting the seeds and starting new generational, um, the opposite of curses, stories, beliefs. So it's not so much of like your responsibility is to heal every wound in your family's history before you can feel okay, before you can do something good. It's like today, starting the new pattern, the new chain, the new positive curse, let's say. Can't in this moment think of a better word than curse. What is the opposite of curse? Wish, spell, um, blessing. Ooh, generational blessing. Let's go with that one. So you can start a new generational blessing moving forward. All right. Now I just want to grab maybe a few more just divine messages. Anything else coming up and through in this moment for anyone watching this who has resonated with these cards? Remember to share with me in the comments what's come up and through. If you'd like to book a one-to-one reading with me, if it's your first time, you get 25% off. If you're a returning customer, you've already received that and you also know how powerful it is. So don't hesitate. And if you're seeing this before the 28th of October, come and join us in the Life Reset program starting on the 28th of October. It is a 3-month program where I coach you, help you, guide you, support you into creating change in your life, from focusing on your health to rediscovering who you are in your relationship to stepping into business to doing anything that improves your life. I'll coach you, help you, guide you, and support you through that. 3 months, we can make such a difference. All right, on the bottom of the deck, we have 10 of Stones, home. Focusing on making your house feel like a home in the next week to 2 weeks. Queen of Vessels, the salmon. Just because you're swimming upstream and things are difficult doesn't mean you're heading in the wrong direction. Stay in connection with your alignment, with your truth, with your passion and your purpose, and go, is this hard work or is this challenge at the moment still heading me in the right direction, or is it turning me aside? Really examine that before you make any decisions on what you do next. The King of Stones, the wolf. Now, there are times in our life where we need to be the lone wolf. People don't get what we're doing. People don't understand why we're heading in the direction we're heading, why we're swimming upstream, and we need to stay strong. This might also be a message for a few of you of, are you being the lone wolf out of habit or out of the thought that it is necessary and needed? There are people around you who can support you, even if they're not walking the same path. The Two of Arrows in Justice. To me, this is like the opposite of what was that card that came up before? Well, the Justice card. Injustice, opposite of justice. Who would have thought? Um, Sometimes we make rash decisions based on limited information and logic, and this leaves us blind to the truth. Make sure that you are not making snap judgments this week. Really get a good look at the situation. Same thing that I said before with the Queen of Vessels. If you're swimming upstream, it doesn't mean it's wrong. If things are hard, it doesn't mean you're heading in the wrong direction. Take the blindfold off, look at things more closely, get all the information, and make your decision from there. The Nine of Bows, respect. Respect the path that you've chosen. There are ups and downs in every single path. There are highs and lows. There are things that will require you to approach them with caution and with respect. So all of these messages are just so heavily reinforcing. Keep your eyes open and allow yourself to look at all the information before making a move. Take it seriously. And then we have the Six of Stones, exploitation. This is just keeping an eye on your lack mindset. That might be the reason why you feel like you need to go it alone and there's no one else that could help you. That may be the reason why you see a challenge and you think, oh my God, is there just going to be more challenges? That's scary. That's too much. Turn away. It might be why you're thinking, oh, I don't know if I can respect the challenge. I'm only in fear of it. It might be why you're thinking that things aren't in your favor because you're not getting all of the information. So, making sure that as much as possible this week, you're tuning out of any conversations, any situations, even inside your own mind that are feeding into the lack, and instead getting that higher perspective, coming back to that owl in the cards from before, higher perspective, seeing the situation fully, clarity, confirmation before action. Very, very important in this week. And my eyes are drawn back to the Ten of Stones, which was on the bottom of the deck. It might mean a bit of hermit energy this week, more, staying at home, staying in your own space, and disconnecting from other people's agendas and opinions and perspectives just until you are clear on your own. Alrighty, that is the reading for this week. Remember, this energy is active for the next week to 2 weeks. So when you find this, lean into it, apply it, and share with me what came up and through. If you want to join us for the Life Reset program starting October 28th, let me know ASAP. You can DM me, you can email me, you can reach out any way that you can, or you can just go to my website and sign up for the program. If you see this after the 28th and you're curious and you want to maybe join a future round of the Life Reset program, still contact me. I'll pop you on the wait list. All right. Enjoy this energy, make the most of the coming weeks, and I'll see you next time.